Yeah. Listen to Tea Time with Honey Pecan. Beeline for the nectar, now we're gonna refine. Pure gold to the brain, no you cannot deny. Nutrition for the mind that will open up your eyes. Listen to Tea Time with Honey Pecan. Beeline for the nectar, now we're gonna refine. Pure gold to the brain, no you cannot deny. Nutrition for the mind that will open up your eyes, yeah. Welcome to Tea Time.
Hello, welcome. Thank you guys for joining us on another episode of Tea Time with Honey. This week, we're going to be talking about the whole Wayfair shit and Trump acquitting Roger Stone and, like, Amazon and everything that's all fucked up with the world yet again. Today we've got, as always, Chris.
I'm always here, somewhere.
Always here. Of course, you're the tech guy. You make everything happen.
As much as you can call me a tech guy, I just have the tech. That's all. That's the only thing that makes me the tech guy.
Exactly. And we've got my very good friend here, Alphy.
Uh-oh.
Good to be here.
Oh no, did we lose you again?
No, we didn't lose him. His audio is coming...
Is my mic not working?
His audio is coming in slower than his mic. Like, we can see his lips move, the lips move, but we can't... The audio's coming afterwards.
They, them.
They, them. I am sorry. I have a horrible problem with that.
It's
okay. Here.
Oh, we got you.
Is it working okay now?
Better. Much better.
You're
a delay.
syncing up with my audio and video together at the same time.
If it does that again, I can just transfer computers, because this computer is she's old.
Understandable.
Reliable but old. That's what they call me. All right.
But we've got a whole lot to discuss this week, and I figured Alfie was going to be a great guest for this episode. They've got some very insightful input on all of these issues.
So I want to say something before we get started. I know you've got a whole lot of things that you want to talk about, but my son actually brought something up to me today that made me go, what the... I don't know where this was. You were supposed to send me an article. You couldn't find it. So we ran across an article, and apparently they were doing an active shooter drill at a school. And so they had... It makes me cringe to even talk about this, but they were doing an active shooter drill at a school, and they had a transgender student. They couldn't figure out whether to put them with the girls' group or the boys' group, so they just left them outside.
What the
fuck? Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. I'm waiting for the article. I want to like send it to you because I don't know all the ins and outs and the details. But
yeah,
I mean, if it's a transgender student that identifies as male,
send them with the group they identify with. Period.
Exactly. But that's
there's no question about like where to send them.
I feel like this is a southern school. Because that's usually where this kind of shit happens.
Very Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee type shit.
Some deep south Bible Belt town that, just backwards as fucking hell. But now you can do you, because this is your thing, and I talked out of turn. Go.
Out of turn. Shut the fuck up. This is go with the flow, bro.
Okay.
But yeah, so like Wayfair was caught selling cabinets, like quote unquote industrial grade cabinets, for well over $10,000 to $100,000 fucking dollars. Way more than any industrial grade fucking cabinet would ever fucking go for. Under the names of missing children. Unique names with unique spellings. There's no coincidence about this, and it's not just the first names, it's the last names too. It's like random fucking cabinets, pillows, fucking picture frames, rugs, picture frames. Like it's and it's not just Wayfair. It's Wayfair, and everyone that sells Wayfair products, so Amazon, Walmart, Etsy, fucking, like, they're all caught up in this fucking web of conspiracy. And now Facebook is, quote-unquote, fact-checking every post that has anything to do with the Wayfair child trafficking scheme, because Wayfair simply said, we're not trafficking children, without any kind of investigation.
Yes, they didn't do it because checks notes. They said they didn't do it, guys. Come on.
Exactly.
I
mean, Amazon is worse. Digging into it, if you go to Amazon and go off of their Wayfair stuff, you get links for child sex dolls that are supposed to be for pedophiles to not enact the violence on children and just, like, use these dolls as an outlet.
Yep.
It's sick shit.
It's fucking disgusting, dude. And oh god, what was I gonna say? My mind's all, like, jumbled and shit. I've had the worst fucking week, bro. Everyone sucks.
I agree. I definitely agree, especially when you're talking about your family. I agree.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Hashtag Kathleen.
Hashtag fuck you, Kathleen.
Right. That's
and
what
Kevin.
It should be. I got two dark things to say about what you just said. About what both of you just said. First of all,
okay,
you're talking about them selling cabinets and pillows and picture frames and all sorts of things with very specific names and very specific sellings. A, how do you know that's not the packaging? You don't know what's in that cabinet they're selling.
And the people that work for Wayfair, for Amazon, for the shipping companies, keep putting out testimonies saying that these cabinets, these products, need to be shipped out immediately, within that day. And they're always obnoxiously, unnecessarily heavy. Like, way too heavy to be what they are.
Yep. Second
thing. We know Wayfair. Go ahead.
About the pedophile dolls there, I'm a firm believer in chemical castration.
Yep.
Just saying.
Yep. Chemical or regular. Like, I'll come in with some scissors and just snip, snip.
Well, I'm saying chemical castration. If they won't take the medication, then of course physical castration is always an option. There's always a way
these motherfuckers
to make those urges come to an end.
One of those is a heavy rock.
Sorry, I would be talking, but people are driving by with obnoxiously loud fucking engines. What the hell?
You know what?
Welcome to Lawrence.
I've got one going by right now. Did you hear that?
Yep.
The very loud. It's Lawrence. It's Haverhill. It's just the area. We don't live in the boonies.
There was like 7 or 8 fucking like little crotch rockets buzzing by.
Yeah, that'll happen. So, Wayfair selling children. We'll get back into it.
So, like, Wayfair's obviously trafficking fucking children. And no one wants to look into it. And, like, this kind of relates to, like, the next subject we're going to talk about, which is the Milwaukee neighborhood.
Oh, you mean where the cops were seen taking people out the back with tarps over their heads because they were other police officers?
Yep, okay, so a neighborhood in Milwaukee banded together to look for 2 missing girls. 2 little, like, black teenagers. And fucking Milwaukee police had decided that they weren't going to put out the fucking Amber Alert for these kids because they assumed that they just ran away. And the whole neighborhood banded together and they decided to comb every house in the fucking neighborhood until they found these girls. And they ended up finding not only these 2 girls, but 2 other missing children that they also, again, didn't fucking put out Amber Alerts for. And there are, rumors that the cops are affiliated with trafficking of these children, which is why they didn't put out the Amber Alerts, because they weren't fucking looking for them. They knew where they were. And then the fucking neighborhood, after they found these children, burned down the fucking house that they were abused in. bless this fucking neighborhood. Oh my god, this is the kind of fucking, like, justice that we need.
I don't think that was a good thing. These kids
No,
were
absolutely.
It did give us a lot of evidence.
They
Oh god,
how do you
you're right.
know it was the neighborhood that burnt it down? How do you know it wasn't the cops that burnt it down to hide the
It
evidence?
To be honest, it could have fucking been undercover cops dressed as, neighborhood civilians.
Justice would have been taking out the people
That's exactly-
that did it, not burning the house down.
Because it's not like that's such an uncommon idea anymore. They've been caught fucking instigating fights and riots and looting within the Black Lives Matter protests.
In Boston, especially.
In Boston especially, like, literally my Aunt Karen has, no, not my Aunt Karen, my Aunt Ellen lives in Boston, but she lives in, like, the rich Brighton white neighborhood. So
That's where I live.
she doesn't. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, there were cops stationed just in alleyways, hiding out when there was no protests going on. Just recently, too, tying into the cops doing undercover shit for the Black Lives Matter, I think they're using PsyOps. There's been fireworks everywhere. Every major city, especially where there's been protests. Nobody can ever find the people doing it. They are like industrial-grade fireworks that you can't buy. And just recently, our roommate saw a plainclothes police officer running away from the smoke of a, like, firecracker, fireworks, something, and, like, booking it up the street.
Yeah.
So they're trying to blame it on, like, young kids, especially, like, young black kids, but it's literally these police officers using PsyOps from 8 o'clock until, like, 4 o'clock in the morning to try to disrupt sleep to fend off protesters.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's fucking, oh my god, dude, it's so fucked up. And my aunt's over here talking about how, like, the protests are destroying her city and how Black Lives Matter is just, like, ruining everything. And I'm like,
I live in
dude,
Brighton. Ain't shit happening here.
exactly.
There's no protests here.
Exactly. Fucking, like, we both have friends that were in the Boston protests that were corralled into the fucking park and attacked by police officers with no fucking reason. They were trying to get away.
My roommate was maced.
Exactly. Like, they were trying to...
They were trying to go to their car.
Yeah, they were trying to disperse at the time that they were supposed to disperse, and police decided to corral them in so that they could mace them and spray them with rubber bullets.
We were listening to the scanner. We had, like, the state scanner and the Boston police scanner open, and they were like, get them back to the commons. They're shutting down the T. Get them back to the commons. Live, like, not live rounds, but, like, use rounds. They were telling people to mace. They were telling people to shoot these gas canisters. And what's happening is a lot of businesses where they've been shooting this tear gas are trying to sue because it's gotten into their ventilation system.
It ruins their
They
products.
can't use the ventilation system at all. It ruins their products. Several people have lost eyes. Several people have been maced just for trying to go to their car. They shut down
Children have been
Uber.
fucking shot with pepper bullets.
They maced a 10-year-old. They maced a 3-year-old, and they weren't even at protests. They were just walking
Exactly.
home.
People are always fucking talking about...
The cops.
The people are always talking about, oh, why would they bring their children through this area if they knew the protest was going on? But it's like, what if you have no other choice? What if the daycare is shutting...
How do they get
What
home?
if the daycare they're at is within that area and they're shutting down and they need to get home? What if they're just
Exactly.
fucking food shopping and they need to get home? Like, there's absolutely no excuse for that kind of force. In the Geneva Convention, it is stated that it is illegal to use tear gas within warfare, so why is it okay to use it on your own citizens? It's not like you're doing warfare inside. Like, the only reason that it's allowed to be used on your citizens is because they're using it outside where it can be, properly ventilated. But it's not like they're not going to be using it inside in warfare. Are you fucking kidding me?
Is there logic that it's okay to use it in times of peace?
Also, using tear gas?
God forbid people ask for equal fucking
No.
rights and basic human decency.
I think your audio went out of sync again, Alfie. I'm seeing the lips move before the
Oh
audio.
no!
It's literally like a 2-second delay.
All right.
Oh, really? I'm hearing the audio before it's lipped.
Okay. I'm just going to transfer to the other computer. I will be right back.
Okay, we will be right here. We're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
We'll just continue talking about this subject.
We got you.
Minneapolis, the Minneapolis Police Department's been the center. It's the center of all of this.
I'm absolutely fucking convinced that they're involved. Without a fucking doubt.
Think they're involved in Wayfair?
I think the entire fucking government is involved with trafficking children, period.
I think human trafficking in general. I don't think it's just children. I think human
Honestly,
trafficking.
I think the only people that aren't involved are the younger people in the government, like Alexandra Cortez and people like her, fucking Ilhan Omar, and, you know? The younger generations that are actually trying to produce some kind of change. Because capitalism obviously isn't fucking working. And clearly, a whole bunch of white slave owners from the 1700s did not come up with the best government ever.
So I want to bring this back up when Alphy comes back on board here. I did find the article for the transgender student. It was actually... I don't like the news source, so it kind of makes me cringe that I have to read it from Fox News of all places.
Oh, God.
But, I mean, this sounds like, from what I'm reading here, it sounds like an article that's against what was going on. So, at the very least, I mean, I know they're pro-Trump, but at the very least I can give them, I can give them the fact that they're kind of behind this kid who got fucked by his school.
Yeah, I feel you.
I've got to get off the ground. I can't sit down here.
Ah!
I've been sitting down on the
That's a
ground,
fucking
just
mood.
doing this thing. We'll move the whole thing there.
That's a fucking mood.
Well, the floor is more comfortable most days.
Well, I mean, for some people, I'm super bony.
I
And
wish
I've got
I could say
really
the same
bad
thing.
sciatica.
This
So,
other,
like, my sciatic nerve goes through my glute muscle. So every time I sit on a hard surface, it gets crushed between the muscle and the bone. And my whole left leg goes, like, numb. And it, like, shoots up my entire body, and it fucking sucks. And I really hate having to take fucking, like, muscle relaxers to solve it. It's the worst.
Alright, Alfie's back.
Fuck yeah!
That I am.
Who was that just ducked in over your shoulder?
Me?
I mean, it actually works now. Hopefully.
I saw somebody duck in over Alfie's shoulder for a moment there.
Oh, that's my fiance.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Hi!
So, while you were gone, I did actually find the article for the young transgender student. So, this is a Stafford, Virginia article.
Oh, great.
Oh, yes. Virginia is not that much better.
No, not at all.
Transgender middle school student was directed to stand outside in the open during a lockdown drill while peers were instructed to shelter in either the boys' locker rooms or the girls' locker rooms, according to LGBTQ advocacy group Equality Stafford. Leslie Woods, co-founder for Equality Stafford, relayed the events from the student's family. The group is not identifying the student or the school out of fear for the student's safety and the safety of the other students. Woods says on September 28th, the school held a lockdown drill while the transgender female student was in gym class. The students were instructed to take shelter in the locker rooms, but the transgender student was told to sit outside in the hallway near the locker rooms because the staff didn't know if it would be appropriate to allow her to go in with the other girls into the locker room. According to Woods, the incident led to anxiety for the girl and her family, and is a clear sign that Stafford County Public Schools needs to clear policy when it comes to transgender students.
What the fuck, dude?
Trans girls always get it a little bit worse than trans boys. I've seen, like, trans boys get
absolutely.
like that leeway with people because it's like, oh well, literally it's just you don't have a penis, so we don't think you're a predator.
Yeah.
That's so fucked up.
Well, I think that's because, let's be honest.
That literally... Okay, so, like, the whole idea behind school shooter drills, like, just gives me anxiety. Because that's just showing the school shooter where the kids are gonna be hiding. It's not like the school shooter's not a student. It's always one of the fucking students. And if not, it's one of the parents of the fucking students. Or someone related to one of the students.
Or related to one of the teachers.
Or one of the teachers. Or someone who's obsessed with one of the students or teachers. Like, it's someone that's got some kind of affiliation with the school. So they're already going to know all of the places where these children and teachers are going to be fucking hiding. They're just giving them the fucking... the hideaways.
It's not a brilliant thing, I'll be honest with you. And I think the main reason why...
I mean, it's heartbreaking that we need to have these kind of drills in the first place, but, I mean, look where the world's at.
I was saying the main reason why I think that transgender female students, the ones transitioning from male to female, get that bad rap is because of the fact that predatory males are definitely a thing. And so they always have that thought in their head, like, well, what if they're just doing this to kind of get closer to the girls? So if it wasn't for the fact that, well, you know, predatory males pretty much suck and have kind of ruined it for decent human beings, they wouldn't get as bad a rap as they do. Predatory females are not quite the same thing. They don't really...
It's people like Jessica fucking Yaniv.
Yes.
Make it that give trans folk a bad rep.
She needs to go to prison.
Dude!
Like, the things that she has done.
How the fuck...
The pedophilia, the creepy Elmo voice.
How the fuck are you not going to send the person who tried to throw a child's unsupervised pool party?
Topless pool party.
Topless!
Huh?
For all genders and bodies.
For children.
For children. And this grown-ass transgender woman who... Okay, this is controversial, and I probably shouldn't say this, but I don't know if this person is trans. I feel like this is that one in a million where it really is a dude trying to get close to little girls and asking them about their periods and tampons and asking questions about if they should help little girls put tampons in. Like, trans women don't think about this kind of shit.
No,
they don't.
Absolutely not.
This is not a trans woman. This is a predator.
Thank you.
Who has literally put a microscope on actual trans people from bigots like Blair White. Fuck her.
Oh my god.
It's to sit here and be like, well, this is that kind of trans person, and this is what I am, and I'm different, and it's just gross.
You know, I had no idea who Blair White was until like this year, and I saw like her posts about Jessica Yaniv, and I was like, okay, maybe she's like an okay kind of person, and then I saw her like the rest of her posts about trans folk, and I'm like, okay, so she's just generalizing at this point. And this is really
she's a conservative's wet dream as a trans person. She's like the token Trump trans.
Okay, so like I gagged and I stuck my tongue out, and it's super orange from this fucking soda. And sorry guys, that was gross.
So what she kind of reminds me of is the exact same thing that you see with politicians, where somebody reaches out and tries to call them on their shit, and their first instinct is not to own up to the thing, but to try to call everybody out around them, to try to lessen the spotlight on them.
Exactly.
Yeah. They will not acknowledge their own problems. They want to basically put spotlights on everybody else. Well, you're going to call me on my stuff, so what about you? What about you? What about you? What about you? That's exactly what she is.
Jessica Yaniv is also very well known for going into beauty salons or spas and trying to start lawsuits because they don't want to wax a ball sack, or because legally they can't.
Yeah, legally, that doesn't sound pleasant
No!
at all.
No!
I wouldn't want somebody to wax my balls if I had a set of balls. No thanks.
Like she goes into these beauty salons to get, like, very intimate kind of, cosmetic procedures, and then throws a fit when the women don't want to touch male genitalia, and then calls them out and tries to start a lawsuit saying that they're discriminating against trans folk and this and that. But it's like, you can't force a woman to touch your genitalia if they're not comfortable with it, or if their company says they don't have to.
They're also just not trained to do that. They're trained to work with
Exactly.
vaginas. I'm sure that a trans man could go in there and be like, hey, give me a Brazilian. They'd be like, hey, that's genitalia I know how to work with. Sure. It's not transphobia. It's we don't know how to wax your dick and balls.
So we weren't trained for
because
that.
we weren't trained for that.
And the way she comes off is super fucking aggressive when she's trying to get these procedures done.
You know, not for nothing, I think these people should just do it in the most aggressive way they can think of.
I agree,
Just do
to be
it.
honest.
Just rip the whole sack off.
Hey, look, it's Jessica. Sure, come here,
This is
we'll
what you
wax
asked for, baby doll.
No, but like
Duct tape.
a lot of YouTubers that I've watched that have talked about Jessica Yaniv have been like, I don't want to say that she's not trans because I'm cis and I don't want the hate, but I'm trans, and I'm straight up saying this person's not trans. They're not.
No.
They are a predator masquerading in this LGBTQ area to try to get sympathy and try to hide, so that if you call them out for their predatory bullshit, where they're telling little girls that they want to, that Elmo wants to touch them places and shit like that, and just being a general creep, they could be like, well, I'm trans and this is a hate crime.
Exactly.
She's a predatory triple.
It's people like this where, like, you know, the bigots and the transphobes and the hater and the fucking, like, you know, homophobes and everyone that doesn't understand this kind of, you know, type of living, this kind of life. That's where they get all of their ideas and misinformation from. That's where they think that's what they assume that everyone is like.
She would also
and it's
technically
not even fucking close.
Be considered an influencer based off of what she does basically for a living.
Right.
And
there were people that were following her for a while there, and
there
have been articles. Exactly. There have been articles written about her where they're like, well, look at her, that she's what trans people are. She's doing all this to kids and all this other shit. And it just makes the trans community as a whole look bad, which is why if you ask most trans people how they feel about Jessica Yaniv, they're like, she's a fucking predator and we hate her.
Just like Lovely Peaches makes, you know, the black community look terrible.
Oh my god. Lovely Peaches needs to be put in prison for what she's trying to do to Charlie.
Dude, it's
have you seen that?
I haven't seen the shit about Charlie, but like the whole everything about Lovely Peaches, everything about her. With her baby, like she hasn't had custody of her baby since her daughter was like 2 months old.
No.
Her father had custody of her, and she keeps just like, you know, posting all this shit about the baby, about Cora, right?
Yep, the baby's name's Cora.
Cora, saying that she was prostituted and raped and murdered and all this shit for money.
She put her into child sex trafficking, that she's going to kill her.
All for clout. And when in reality her father's had custody of Cora this entire fucking time, and she's safe and she's growing and she's in a safe environment. Like it's people like Peaches that makes people of color look bad.
Most recently, and this is why I think that Peaches needs to be like taken either to a asylum or prison, she has been making posts saying that the TikTok star Charlie, I don't want to botch her last name, but it's very Italian. She was dating Chase Hudson for a while. She has said that she's hired a big black man to find her and rape her, and is asking her followers to find Charlie's address so she can send people to rape her, and is like laughing about it, is making jokes about it, thinks it's funny. She's fucked up, and she needs serious help. It's bad. She needs real serious help.
Yeah.
There's definitely something not right with her brain, which is not an excuse for the things that she's doing and saying. Like, she's going above and beyond. This is not just mental illness. This is also her just being, like, a disgusting human.
Just
you
a
have
straight up sociopath.
You have to be. Either that or, like, I don't know. I don't know if she even has, like, remorse for anything that she's done. Like, I don't understand how a person can say those kinds of things about their baby.
Sociopaths rarely show remorse.
That's very true. Circling back very quickly to the Wayfair issue, I am going to advise not to do this because you could go to jail, but there were a couple users who were reverse searching the SKUs to these certain cabinets, and it was taking them to a Russian site full of child porn.
Yinksy. Yep.
Of, like, a catalog of kids in bikinis, posed sexually, just, like, really disgusting shit. And also, Facebook was saying partially false. So they're not saying that Wayfair isn't selling these kids. They're saying that Wayfair said they aren't selling these kids, and it is partially false information. So what the fuck does that mean, Zuckerberg?
Exactly.
I don't want to...
You can't trust Facebook information to begin with, because Zuckerberg fucking bans you for a month for saying men ain't shit.
I've got plenty of those bans.
I know! Meanwhile, fucking men can post about how they're gonna fucking rape, murder, fucking dox women. Men can post child porn and make whole fucking groups about it. There are
child pornography groups all over Facebook.
So many fucking child pornography groups all over fucking Facebook, and those don't get taken down. You know why that is? And they keep getting reported.
We are run by pedophiles. The whole country.
That's it.
Which is why Epstein got suicided, and why Ghislaine is about to get suicided.
She keeps getting moved around cells so that she doesn't get assassinated.
And she's also got COVID, apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see how long she lasts before she dies of complications from that.
Yeah, exactly. It's real convenient, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, we're gonna go on break real fast, take a couple of minutes, hit our sponsors, and when we come back, we're gonna play a couple of games.
Sounds like fun.
Alright, we got this. Alright guys, thank you for sticking around through our sponsors. Super duper fucking appreciate it. We're gonna play a couple games, shoot the shit, what the fuck ever.
We can shoot the shit a little bit first. I didn't want to stop the conversation, but we were talking a lot while we're not actually recording. And it's like, I feel
we were talking about, like, non-binary names.
Right.
And what every trans boy names themselves. And it's always got Aiden in it somewhere. Always. But we were talking about
my brother's a trans boy, and he went to Marcus.
I mean, he went off the beaten path. We love that.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I love it when a trans boy's just like, yeah, I'm gonna name myself Dave. But then it's because they like Homestuck.
Yeah.
Oh
well, Ben chose Ben. I mean, never mind. I'm not even gonna.
Ben chose Ben.
Ben chose Ben.
Ben did choose Ben. It's a good name.
It is a good name.
I can't say anything because my name before I chose Alphy for myself was Alexander, spelled with a K and an S instead of an X because I had to be extra. I do go by my middle name now, which is Alpha.
Bad.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's not like a Y and an X and a Z.
I prefer the ALEKS instead of the X.
Honestly, me too. It's Russian. Didn't know that. But my middle name is Alphon, so I go by Alphy now, and I did rip that straight from Full Metal Alchemist.
I dig it. I dig it. Hey man, I named my daughter after a novel that I read in like 6th grade, so
It do be like that sometimes.
always.
But speaking on the whole transgender thing, since we do have me, the transgender guest, I wanted to talk about one specific trans boy that I've seen on YouTube that is just having a negative impact. One of Blair White's little buddies, his name is Calvin Gara. He likes to call himself the cis king because apparently he's more trans than any other trans boy to live, ever. He makes videos that are always like, look at these trans trenders, look at this person who thinks they're autism gender, let's laugh at furries. All of his content is literally him shitting on people because he's so insecure in his own masculinity as being a trans boy that he has to shit on anyone who's not as trans as he is. And I know this logic is true scum logic, and if you don't know what true scum means, it is just a trans person in the trans community who believes that you have to have dysphoria to be trans, you have to want surgeries, you have to want to go on hormones, and if you don't, you're fake. And you're what's called a trans trender, which is somebody who's just trying to be trans for clout, which I think is bullshit. I don't think trans trenders are real. I was one of those true scum pieces of shit when I first got on testosterone, like 7 years ago.
I mean, I'm not on testosterone, but I was one of those true scum pieces of shit when my brother first came out.
That.
You did.
I did. I changed the minute that I got top surgery. I will say I changed my viewpoint. I was like, wow. And I was like a year on testosterone, and my levels had evened out. I wasn't so much of a piece of shit anymore, and I was like, wow, that was a really toxic way to think. Like, who am I to tell somebody what their identity is as long as they're not being like, oh, I'm trans race or trans age? Like, gender is a whole different spectrum. It's a whole different thing. You can be trans in any way that you want, as long as that way isn't hurting you or anyone around you. Exactly. Calvin Gara doesn't think that way. Calvin Gara thinks that if you don't want everything that he wants, like phalloplasty, which can be done over like 6 different surgeries, can take you years to complete, and your dick could fall off. It could rot. The urethra could literally just combust on itself. It's not a safe surgery. I will say that trans women also have a bad rap when it comes with that, but their surgery is safer. This is a surgery that you're trying to build out. You have to get a massive scar either on your arm or your thigh. It's a lot. It's a lot of work to go into it. It's not something that many trans guys want to go through with. Top surgery is the one that is the most popular, which is a double mastectomy. Some people get it through the nipples if they have small enough chest. If they're large, like I was a triple D before surgery, you get teal scars. It's the most like, I was huge. It was bad. Binding was hell. You get a surgery where it's just 2 little incisions underneath. You got a flat chest after that. Sometimes you can go with or without nipples. I see a lot of non-binary people being like, save the nip. I don't want it.
Honestly,
Calvin recommends that if you don't, go for it.
Oh, sorry. Honestly, if my brother ever decided to like go through with top surgery, remove the nipples and all of that, then I'd, totally be up there being like, yo, let me tattoo a chest plate on you.
A lot of trans guys want to do that. They want to get tattoos that'll either cover the scars or work with the scars and just like accentuate them. I might come to you for that for me at some point once COVID is over.
Like when it comes to mastectomy scars and covering scars, I'm totally willing to do that shit for free because like that's a life changing moment.
It really is. So Calvin Gara is one of those people who is like, you gotta have surgery, you gotta want to be on hormones, and a lot of guys also can't be on testosterone. I myself, I was on for 5 years almost, and then quit. I had to. I have so many mental illnesses.
It can intersect and nullify necessary medications for pre-existing conditions.
That as well. My anxiety and depression got fixed a lot, because I was like, wow, I finally look the way that I want to look. I finally sound like a boy. Like, everything's working out. And then as I kept going on the dosage that I was on, that they wouldn't let me switch off of, my depression got worse. My anger issues did get a bit bad. I was becoming too masculine for my taste, so I quit myself. Like, I would be one of the people that he was like, oh, well, you're a detransitioner. And he does talk about that as well. He talks about detransitioners quite often. And he would think because I don't want to take testosterone anymore that I am a detransitioner, which is not what I am. He's just got this toxic mindset that a lot of cis people also seem to have, where if you don't adhere to this, like, first of all, if you're gay, you get immediately like, well, if you're gay, then that you can't be trans. That doesn't make any sense. You have to be straight. If you want to be with men, why don't you just stay a girl? Or if you want to be with women, why don't you just stay a man? And like, that's not like sex and gender and sexual orientation completely
doesn't equate to sexual interest.
Exactly. Like, it's this toxic mindset that is being sprung all over the place, all over YouTube, all over his Instagram, all over Twitter. It's disgusting, and it's damaging. Like, it's damaging to the point where somebody that he had made an entire video on tried to commit suicide. They had to go to the hospital, get their stomach pumped. They took all the pills in their house, and their partner reached out to Calvin Garra like, hey, you making this video about my partner and ripping into their gender identity and telling them that they're not valid and making all these people laugh at them in your comments drove them to this. And he responded to that by making a full-length video of him. It was titled, Let's Talk About Suicide, and literally the whole time he was like, well, I've always had like suicidal thoughts, and your suicidal thoughts are all about you, and you can't make them about anyone else, and nobody can make you feel like you want to commit suicide. It was disgusting. He is a
that
disgusting human being.
That sounds like my toxic ass family.
Yeah. I definitely know for a fact that he's racist, which is on brand. Blair White is as well.
Yep.
And it's just, it's to the point where it's, why does this person have this platform if all they're doing is harm?
Exactly. It's just like the fucking Logan brothers. It's just like every fucking I'm honestly, I'm really sad that Jenna Marbles got canceled, because she was honestly truly remorseful for her previous
she kind of canceled herself. Nobody really came for her. She just took herself out of the equation before they could, and I respect that. She's no Shane Dawson. Definitely.
She decided that she understood that the videos that people brought up to question were offensive in ways, and she wanted to take them down and reflect on herself. And she may never be back, and she said that's okay, and that she doesn't want to put out this kind of energy into the world, and I can totally fucking respect that. Like, honestly, Jenna Marbles is one of the most least fucking problematic influencers to exist in today's world.
All she does was make jokes and dress up her dogs and be a giant toothbrush for Halloween. Like, she was wholesome.
Disco ball.
And then you have these YouTubers like Jeffree Star, not canceled, or not Shane Dawson, not canceled. Trisha Paytas, who pretended to be trans, Asian, black. She pretended to marry, who was it? Was it Ben Affleck or Brad Pitt in Vegas? She pretended to have DID. Like, there's just other people who should be canceled.
Fucking Jada Pinkett Smith.
It's because the toxic people of the world are not held accountable for their own bullshit for the most part.
Nope.
Donald Trump.
Kanye West.
Donald Trump literally has.
How the fuck is Kanye West a goddamn candidate?
You know how.
Because Trump was elected.
How are our only fucking options two sex offenders and Kanye West?
Because Bernie Sanders got robbed.
Do you know what, though?
Again.
Let me tell you something. I am for Kanye West running for one reason and one reason only. Because it is the exact thing that fucked the Democrats the last time around, where we had the party split down the middle. Half the people were voting for Bernie, the other half were voting for Hillary. This time, you're going to have half the people voting for Kanye, the other half of the people voting for friggin' Trump, and we'll get Biden.
You had 12,000 people voting for Harambe last time.
Oh my god. $10 said $100 says we're still gonna get at least 100,000 people voting for Harambe again.
I hate to say this, and I know that this is going to be something controversial to say. I'm voting green. And the reason I'm voting green is because even if we get 5% of the vote, they have to adopt the Green Party's policies into the Democratic Party. They have to. And Howie Hawkins has a black woman as his fucking, vice president right now. And she's not a cop like Kamala Harris, which is what they're trying to push on sex offender-ass dementia Biden. Why would we want that? In the climate that we have right now, I know that she's a black woman, but she's a cop. She is not only a class traitor, she is a race traitor. We don't want her. We don't want her at all. It'd be like having Condoleezza Rice again.
Let's start Master Debaters.
Get out of that. Yeah. All right. So I got a couple of good, well, I don't know if we'd call them good questions, but I got a couple of questions. And I'll start with the one that I held off on this past weekend. Do you think that social media is destroying our world? Silence.
No.
I
think it's allowing us to be more connected so that we can live stream real interactions rather than relying on the media that keeps lying to us.
That is true. I would have to say yes.
I think social media plays a part in spreading toxicity, but it also helps us see more of what's really fucking happening.
The problem is being able to differentiate what is really fucking happening from the actual toxic content. Because they market a lot of these things in a way that you're made to believe that some of this toxic content is actually reality. And some of the more susceptible, pardon me for saying it this way, but simple-minded individuals can be led astray. There's a reason why there's a whole section of people that basically are called a flock of sheep. They're considered, their own people consider them part of the flock. If we've discussed this before.
Okay, hang on. Speaking about sheep, I called my mother a fucking sheep a couple of weeks ago, and she was like, "Of course I'm a sheep, and Jesus is my shepherd." I'm like, "Hey!"
You mean the black man, Jesus? The black man?
Yeah, no, her Jesus is blonde-haired and blue-eyed and German.
Ooh.
What?
Heil Jesus.
Yep.
Sorry.
Is she Hitler?
That was horrible.
No, but apparently, she agrees with my Aunt Kathleen in the whole idea of, leaving up white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus because every culture has their own version of Jesus. When, in reality, Jesus is a Nazarene.
I was going to say...
Born...
She knows that blonde hair and blue eyes are both mutations, right?
Thank you! Oh my god.
Biblically, basically where this guy was supposed to be born, you would have to be a simple-minded fool to believe that he was anything other than a very dark-skinned individual.
They said he had skin of copper and hair of wool. Wool? Come on. Tight curls?
It's a black man.
And the whole, his best friends were fucking tax collectors and prostitutes.
Because what else was there really back then? Not a whole lot of professions in the world.
I controversially think that he was gay with Judas. And that's why Judas got mad, because he was spending too much time with John.
Oh man, I hope my mom hears this. She's super homophobic.
Also, Here's the thing, though. The Bible, in its plain text, says man shall not lie with boy. It does not say man shall not lie with man. It's telling you not to be a pedophile, not that you can't be gay.
There's
Because if we want to look back into the Romans and the Greeks, they were having a lot of gay sex. A lot of it. You were more manly if you were having sex with your comrades.
That's because when you're in like the gladiator fucking circle, you're out to war, there's no fucking women around. What do you got? A butthole! Fuck it!
That's a booty hole.
That's a butthole. Get it!
It wasn't even just that. Like, literally, it was like your camaraderie was higher and you were more respected as a man if you were having sex with other men.
Yep.
So, that's why all the Greek gods were bisexual. Like,
anyway, social media plays both and good bad parts.
So that's a 50-50. That's not a yes and no. All right. Next question.
Depends on how you see it.
Next question. If you find a hair in your food, do you eat it anyway?
No.
No.
Why would you? If you find a hair, just pick it out and eat your food.
Oh, I think you. Maybe
well, I mean, okay,
it
depends. It depends on where the food's coming from. Okay, so like, if I find a hair in my food, if the food was cooked at home, I'll just pick it out and keep eating the food. But if it's out at like a restaurant, then no, I'm gonna send the food back.
See, I don't know whose hair this is. At least if you're home, it could have been one of 5 people. Who was cooking? Is that yours? Okay, we'll take that out. Oh, I think Ben has some input here.
I was just gonna say, if you find a hair in your food at a restaurant and you ask for them to like make you another one of that thing, make it really salty beforehand so you can guarantee that you're not just getting the same plate back. That's a little tip that I learned.
Okay.
You're a fucking genius!
Make sure they're not just put in the microwave.
Yeah.
Good tips for the listeners.
Make sure
that's a thing that I didn't think of ever.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Like,
yeah, right?
They could just bring it back, kind of fill in whatever you might have eaten beforehand, and then bring back your own meal, you know?
Kind of like what Chuck E. Cheese does with the fucking replacing
with the recycled pizza?
With the recycled pizza?
No.
Oh,
you know about that, Chris?
Chuck E. Cheese is a dead industry.
Have you ever been in Chuck E. Cheese? I mean, really?
Okay, so like,
yes.
Unfortunately, I hate to reference this, but Shane Dawson brought this to light. Chuck E. Cheese takes, like, you know, pizzas that other people ate and, like, takes the leftovers and just, you know, Frankensteins the pizzas together and just gives it to you.
There was one person who took a picture of their pizza, and it was literally like all the little pieces and then one large piece. One big piece that was definitely not the same pizza.
There are pictures, like there are pictures where like every other piece is like a different fucking size.
Let me look that up real quick. Chucky, this is Franken pizza.
How many different sizes of pizza are you selling here?
Like, this is clearly not fresh.
Have you ever smelled a Chuck E. Cheese? Like, they need to close down for good.
The cheese never tastes like it's any good. Ever.
So last week's episode, we talked about, would you rather clean tables or clean the ball pit of, you know, a Chuck E. Cheese or place like that? And honestly, tables all day. I had friends that worked at Chuck E. Cheese, and the ball pits are fucking disgusting. And all they do is, like, spray it down with hand sanitizer, and all that shit gets fucking soupy at the bottom.
Ugh. You think that's other people's sweat? You're just sitting in there cleaning supplies?
Not just sweat, shit, diapers, piss, fucking, like, kids use the ball pit as the bathroom.
It's a porta potty. It's not a ball pit.
Couldn't be my kids. Like, could not be
Winter's
my
never
kids.
allowed in a ball pit that I didn't put together myself.
Same. I've bought both of my kids a couple of different ball pits, and like I've never even taken them to Chuck E. Cheese. They can't. I cannot. It's disgusting. Yep. Like, it's not even just, it's the slides, it's the whole climbing area, the toys, there's fucking pizza grease on everything. Kids are gross.
Disgusting. I
Kids
love
are
kids,
nasty.
but they're fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Next question.
Next question.
That's only 2 questions in. We've gone 20 minutes. So I'm just...
Good.
We can't shut up.
That's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. All right. Is it acceptable to swear in front of an infant?
Yeah.
Yes.
An infant that doesn't understand what you're saying? Yes. As long as whatever it is you're saying is in a happy tone. Because, like, they pick up on the energy. You can be like, you can go fuck yourself to your significant other. As long as it's in a happy tone, the kid's not going to pick up on it.
Be interesting if your kid's
I used to
first
lovingly call
words
my
were
son a
that
little
tall.
shithead all the time.
See, I never did that with Winter. I was just like, can you go the fuck to sleep? I used to play the Samuel L. Jackson "Go the Fuck to Sleep" audiobook for her.
Ah.
A wonderful book.
Next question.
Oh, absolutely. His voice is soothing to babies.
Samuel L. Jackson. Okay.
Chris, have you looked that fucking book up yet?
The Go the Fuck to Sleep
I-
book?
Yeah, I told you to look it up, like,
Yes.
I don't know, a long time ago.
Yes, I have. Actually, I was given the name of another book that I've got to look up too, that a friend of mine sent me I gotta find it now. This is not a book that I'm going to be able to find locally either. I'm going to have to... Maybe I'll find out. Maybe I have the picture of it. I'm like, just completely fucking with the rhythm of the thing now. Nope, I don't have it. Fuck it. But it's like...
That's
all the
why we
weird-
don't shut the fuck up when we're together. We're both air signs.
Yes, we are. Aquarius.
Sorry.
Full of wind.
Okay, I'm sorry, but how the fuck is Aquarius an air sign?
Beats me.
It's Aquarius. Literally water. Like, I hate everything.
Next question.
What's the next question?
Office small talk. A, a good way to get through the day, or B, just kill me.
Kill me.
Depends on the small talk.
I'm so bad at office small talk because, like, every other word out of my mouth is fuck.
Yeah.
My,
So, like, okay. So I work in an office, and I know Chris does too, but Chris isn't as, like, aggressive as I am with, like, verbal bullshit. And fucking... So, like, I'll be talking to, like, my boss or, like, my coworkers or some shit, because, you know, they'll be talking about something that, like, I have whatever input on, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, so fucking, like, this, fucking that, fucking whatever, fucking shit. And they're all just... And they're all just looking at me like, how is this bitch still working here?
I need to, when it comes to office small talk, I need to come with a warning label. I really do. Because
And, like...
it is unfortunate, but there are certain subjects that if you approach me with, I will read you my life fucking story, and you will be stuck.
Oh, you're one of those!
What is your zodiac sign?
I'm a Capricorn.
Yeah, that's on brand.
I'm one of those. Yeah, you talk to me and you bring up a certain subject, and all of a sudden you realize that you've been listening to me for the better part of a half hour, and I have not let you talk at all.
But damn, that reminds me of the time when I was 6.
Sit down for a minute. This may take a few.
The only reason that I'm able to get away with the whole, like, fucking shit, fucking bullshit, fuck this, fuck that, whatever the fuck, I don't give a shit, this place sucks, I hate everything.
If you
because
ever...
I'm quote-unquote, like, I'm kind of like a mixture of, like, the Angela Pam of The Office in my department. And I'm the party planning committee. I decorate everything by hand.
Yes, I've seen you. You've shown pictures.
Yeah, no, every Halloween I fucking, like, I go out of my way I wait until they pick the theme for our department, which they always wait until the last fucking second, and it kind of like pisses me off because I'm like, bro, I gotta build all this shit. I have so many ideas, and like everyone's like, oh my god, you're so creative, and I'm like cutting out this cardboard and shit in the middle of my department, and it's just like a whole bunch of desks that are cubicles and shit, and fucking like I work in a newspaper, bro. Like, so like everyone's at their desk. My boss is in her office. My managers are in their offices, and like it's a very small space. And I'm sitting in the middle of the fucking department cutting out cardboard with like spooky designs and shit. And everyone's like, "That's amazing!" And my boss is like letting me get off with like not doing all of my work so that I can decorate the department, and it's fucking great. I love it so much.
All right. We're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to the trolley game now.
Fuck yeah.
And I believe I've already basically stated the rules. You got two set of people. One's on one track, one's on the other track, and you have to decide which one to save and which one to kill.
Sounds good.
All right. So for our first set of cards, we have on the right-hand set of tracks, all 40 people between you and the British Crown. And on the left-hand track, the Antichrist.
I'll take the British Crown, please.
Wait,
Yeah, same. I'm
Hold
gonna
on.
have to save the Antichrist.
you're saving the Antichrist?
I don't give a
Yeah.
shit about fucking killing the Antichrist.
So you're
Bring
gonna
it on, bro. I'm ready for the apocalypse.
Believing in the Antichrist would assume that you believe in Christ, I guess.
Not necessarily.
Well, I'm guessing maybe the biblical version that they've fabricated, or the story surrounding the Christ figure that's been handed down and manipulated over 2,000 years plus.
See, I don't believe that, like, you know, there's a God. I don't believe in Christ or the Antichrist. I think the whole, like, idea behind Jesus Christ was just a guy who could do really good magic tricks.
He was the David Blaine of his time.
Seriously, some fucking, like, Chris Angel shit.
He was like, "Watch me levitate," and then he just like lifted a foot up, and they were like, "Oh shit!"
Right? Everyone was smoking opium back then anyway.
Think about it, though. Some of the most simple tricks now may not fool you, but people 2,000 years ago, back well before they were scared of people and burning them as witches, okay? People that knew nothing. If you were to pull the same kind of simple tricks in front of them back then, you know, you'd be a god.
You'd be Christ.
You'd be Christ.
Yeah.
Yep.
He like threw some grapes into the water. He was like, "Wine." They were like, "Fuck." Oh shit. This
Wait a-
dude.
All right. Next set of victims. On the right-hand track, we have the person who stole your identity and bought a yacht. And on the left-hand track, Cthulhu.
We gotta keep Cthulhu alive. We're running over this
Obviously.
identity thief.
Right?
Swiper's getting swiped.
And I'm taking that fucking yacht.
Yeah.
We already saved the Antichrist. Why not save
It's already
Cthulhu?
under my name.
Right?
I'm gonna go visit Cthulhu on the yacht. We're going out to sea.
Bro, let's have a party.
That should be a rule.
Party.
If somebody steals your identity and they catch them, you should be able to keep whatever they bought with your name.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sell it for a double? Shit.
Dude, okay, so, like, the only reason my mom doesn't have a credit card is because someone across the country was given the same 4 digits to their debit card as she had on her credit card. So they bought thousands of dollars worth of fucking furniture that was sent to, like, fucking Utah or some shit. And my mom, like she disputed the charges and, like, made claims and all of that, and it took her years to get her fucking money back. So she never had a credit card again.
ridiculous.
Next set of
And fucking my tattoo instructor keeps telling me, "Oh, you need a credit card so that you can get your credit up." I'm like, "A card is not the only way to get your credit up, buddy." He's like, "Yes, it is." Fucking boomers, right?
My apologies, I misunderstood that lull in the conversation. I started talking and then you continued, and I was like, okay. Sorry.
Okay, next question. Or next trolley.
Next set of victims, yes. So on the right-hand track, we have a horde of zombies running toward you. And on the left-hand track, a raccoon with rabies heading toward a playground.
I'll take out the zombies.
Uh,
As long as, the trolley takes out all the zombies and not just, like, the few that are on the track.
I am assuming that if I hit the raccoon with rabies, I've taken the route where they are no longer heading
If you
towards
don't-
me. Because they're heading towards me if I
Okay.
go to hit them, right?
If you don't take out the zombies, they're just gonna head for the playground after they hit up you.
So it's sort of a damned if you do,
Now you have
damned
a
if you
gun.
don't thing, you know.
do I have a gun in this equation? Like, is that...
Nope, just the trolley.
Can I have a gun?
Nope, just
Just
the
a
trolley.
trolley. Oh, jeez. Then yeah, I'm gonna have to take out the zombies. Sorry, kids.
Okay. I'm the only one killing
You
the
can go to the rabies
raccoon
shot.
because I want to see zombie children.
I'm assuming these kids on the playground aren't completely unsupervised. The
Come
parents
on.
are just like a little ways away, so probably only one kid's gonna get attacked.
You're not a fan of like little
You can get a
3-year-old
baby
toddling
shot.
zombies? No?
Exactly.
No! Zombie kids make me sad.
Wait, hold on. What kind of zombies are they though? Are they walkers or are they rage zombies?
Yeah,
Let's
they're
see.
like those...
These guys look like rage zombies.
Okay, so take out the rage
Oh.
zombies.
Okay.
Yeah.
They look like runners. Alright. Next set.
No runners.
On our right-hand track, we have a class of first graders on a field trip. And... What? Who is this fucking teacher taking their kids on a field trip to the train tracks?
I don't know, someone mentally unstable that wants to, kill a class of students?
Why are any of these
Jigsaw?
people on the current train tracks, for that matter? And on the left-hand track, we have a scientist who literally just discovered the cure for cancer. Who are you saving?
The scientist, sorry.
Yep.
Scientists.
This is a fuck them kids kind of situation.
Well, no. It depends. Is that scientist actually going to put out the cure for cancer? Are they going to get assassinated? Is the government going to hide the cure for cancer?
It's
Like
probably
they
already been hidden
have
several
done
times
for years?
before.
Because there's a fucking cure for cancer and the government's just hiding it so that they can keep making profits on pharmaceuticals.
Oh, just like the auto
Same
industry
thing with
constantly buys out innovative ideas for cars that run on nothing practically, that basically would save the environment. You don't have to deal with auto emissions, but they buy them and they bury those patents so that nobody has to compete for oil, because oil's where the money is, not, hydroelectric cars.
Trump's over here like, hashtag bring back the oil industry and coal mining.
Oh,
What the fuck is that?
okay,
Bring it back to the 1920s.
this kind of goes with the last one
Back to the
that we
good
did.
old days.
So on the right-hand track, we have a rare, beautiful flower that contains the cure for cancer and AIDS. And on the left-hand track,
What's
we
with
have...
cancer?
Yep, right. On the left-hand track, we have Jesus Christ on his second or first world tour.
Yeah, Jesus gotta go.
Fuck that guy.
Jesus gotta go.
We're
World
getting...
tour?
Your dad created
That
this, now
sounds
we
just
gotta
like
fix it.
Fucking one of these evangelist infomercial bullshit guys.
Well, he's on a world tour. I mean,
Exactly.
I don't think Jesus
Is he
Christ
the
is going on a
K-pop
world
star?
tour.
Has anyone seen Left Behind?
Not
No.
willingly.
Not willingly,
Not willingly.
but you've seen it.
Yes. Both
So that guy's
both versions.
okay. So like the whole world tour thing. That's some Nikolai Carpathia shit.
Yeah. Have you read the book?
Yep.
I'm telling you, Jesus is a K-pop star.
I have not read the books. I remember the old movies.
The ones
the
with
90s movies.
Kirk Cameron in them?
Yes.
Yeah, they redid them fairly recently.
I liked them when I was a kid, but I don't know how I feel about them now.
They were kind of like the
But anyway.
the Christian version of the Langoliers by Stephen King, pretty much.
See, my mom didn't let me watch or read a whole lot of Stephen King when I was a kid.
You missed out.
But my brother
Some good
was.
books.
I missed out on a lot. I wasn't allowed to watch
very good
fucking
books.
Dragon Ball Z when I was a kid. Are you kidding me?
Here's a question
My
I've
dad
got.
made me watch Dragon Ball Z.
It was too violent. But my brother was super into fucking all kinds of shit, and I forget where I was going with that.
Well, I got one more set of people
C'est la
on the
vie.
tracks here. But I'm going to say something about Stephen King before we do.
Oh, right, Stephen King, thank you.
Okay, finish.
Sorry. Okay, fucking, my brother was super into all of, like, the Stephen King shit when, like, he was in high school, and me and Winter's father went to go to this, like, Stephen King lecture when Dr. Sleep was first released in, hardcover copies. And we went to his lecture over at Harvard University, and fucking, like, half the lecture, he sat there talking about the Red Sox instead of the fucking book, and I'm like, bro! I didn't pay at all, because, his mom paid for us to go. But it's like, nobody paid for you to talk about the fucking Red Sox. They paid for you to talk about the book. And only like 100 people got signed copies of the book. He didn't sign copies for every person that was at the lecture.
Now,
And he spread them out randomly within a pile of books that people were supposed to take from when they left.
fair enough. I got a
And it's
question.
like, bro, why wouldn't you just sign copies for everyone that was there, though?
Because
I don't know. Stephen King's an asshole.
Well, I do love me some
But-
Stephen King. He wrote some seriously fucked up shit. You've heard about the
But-
part of it that a lot of people take issue with?
Oh yeah, you told me.
Yeah.
I didn't read the book.
Go read the book, just specifically to get to that
ended
excerpt,
up
just to
getting that,
understand how fucked up it was.
I ended up giving that first edition copy of Dr. Sleep to my brother for Christmas one year.
Nice. I bought my wife a first edition copy of the short story Carrie.
Nice.
It's still around here somewhere. I don't know where, but there's a nice little bookshop in the middle of Downtown Crossing in Boston that I got it from.
Yeah.
They have a lot of first edition stuff there. Like, they have the regular stuff that you can buy fairly inexpensively, but then they can take you into a back room that has a lot of first edition, like, old books. So,
My friends Josh and Jill took me on a little hideaway bookshop adventure after they rescued me from my ex's house, and down in Dorchester, Boston area, and it was a lot of fun. They brought me to a whole bunch of little unknown tiny bookshops. It was super cute, and there were these little boxes where people leave books for other people to take. It's super cute.
somebody's beeping
You
around
leave a
you, I
book,
take
you
it?
take a book.
No, you didn't hear that?
No, I didn't.
Was just
Someone,
dead silence.
someone was literally over here just letting their alarm go off over and over.
I thought somebody was just laying on the horn. I just heard beep, 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 beep. I didn't realize that was an alarm. Alright, so
Yeah.
that's not ignorance. I got one last set here. One
All right.
last set. On our left-hand track, we have your favorite childhood teacher. And on your left-hand track, we have a warehouse full of frozen cryogenic bodies that may be one day brought back to life.
Okay, so deja vu?
Deja vu?
Deja fucking vu. Like, holy shit. I've been in this moment before. There's a glitch in the Matrix. But anyway.
Okay.
You said on the left-hand track and on the left-hand track.
Did I? Right-hand track, teacher, where, left-hand track, cryogenic bodies.
That's where the deja vu started, and then fucking, like, literally the next, like, 30 seconds after that was just, like, complete repeat. What the fuck just happened in the Matrix? Holy shit! I've been here before!
Escape while you have the chance. You don't know what's got a hold of you.
What's happening?
If you notice the glitch, so use it and go.
Repeat the trolley. I'm sorry.
Okay, so on the right-hand track, we have your favorite teacher, childhood teacher. And on the left-hand track, we have a warehouse full of frozen cryogenic bodies that may be one day brought back to life.
I'm gonna take out the cryogenic bodies, bro. Mrs. Salcedo was the shit.
I didn't have a favorite teacher, so whatever teacher's on that track is getting flattened.
You don't know if those cryogenic bodies are fucking serial killers or zombies or some, like, holding some kind of ancient disease that's gonna destroy the world.
But I'm a Gemini. I like the mystery.
Okay, I can understand that.
I'm probably going to save the cryogenic bodies and hit the teacher because, let's be entirely honest, I'm 43 years old, and if any of my childhood teachers are still alive, then they're old as dust anyway, and might as well try to save the people that froze themselves for a better life later on. Just saying.
Yeah.
You had a good life.
I mean, you don't know if those cryogenic bodies are fucking Nazis.
It could be like in, what was it? Demolition Man, where all the cryogenic people were actually criminals being rehabilitated.
Exactly.
They were doing like subliminal rehabilitation on the criminals, but it turns out somebody took one of the criminals, and instead of rehabilitating him, they actually turned him into a living weapon.
Oh my god.
Pretty much the only Wesley Snipes performance that I truly enjoyed outside of the first Blade.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
It's not a bad movie. It's got a lot. It's got Benjamin Bratt, Sandra Bullock, Dennis Leary's in it. It's a lot of decent actors in the movie, but it's a comedy through and through. And it's a goofy ass, almost slapstick action comedy. So,
nice.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Wesley Snipes in a few things, but like that was probably one of my favorite movies of his. Yeah, I'm
gonna have to check it out.
And now you got the revving cars. Wow, that really registered too. Like,
I heard that.
This computer is amazing, and also the window is open, and the building next to us is full of like half low income, half old people, and for some reason everyone who lives there is either crazy or dying or has a car that's super loud or is on a moped at fucking 4 a.m. zooming back and forth. I can't wait to move.
So
August 1st can't come fast enough.
You said you painted a pretty picture for me because I started laughing the second you said that it was half low-income people, half elderly people, and I'm just picturing a whole bunch of, like, low-income folks below the elderly folks making a lot of noise, and the elderly folks up above them going, "Huh? What the fuck are you talking about? Huh?"
Honestly,
sometimes it's a mix.
Honestly, right? It just sounds a lot like Florida.
Well, that's pretty much the same situation.
Dudes in their tighty whities on their porches, just like staring into my window sometimes. So I'm like, are they looking at me? What do they want?
I think you only escape to Florida if you're either on your way to dying or on your way to escape from some place you already have an arrest warrant out for you. We want to disappear. We don't want to be in Massachusetts anymore. They're looking to arrest me. We're going to move down to Florida. It's far enough away.
That has happened. So I worked before the pandemic. I worked at a very cute little like pet boutique down on Newbury Street. And we had a guy that we hired for deliveries, and already I knew the dude was like a piece of shit. He was a very selfie white dude with the backwards cap. He called everyone kid. And I was like, he was definitely on drugs, because I know what that looks like. My mom has been an addict my whole life. And first of all, he asked for his 2 first paychecks up front. And then he worked one shift, never came in again. We called him on the day that he was supposed to come in, and he was like, oh yeah, I had to go to Florida. Thanks for the money, I'm not going to be back.
Nice.
I was like, why'd he go to Florida?
Not for nothing.
I was like, this dude has a warrant.
That's on the person who gave him 2 paychecks up front. You know there's something wrong when they ask for that.
I told him that, but he's such a sweetheart. He's like a Cancer with a Leo moon, and he's just a big, sweet baby. And like, he hired me because I came in to get stuff for my cat, and he was like, that's so cute. This is adorable. And he was trying to give this dude a chance because he's like, you know, we don't know his situation. He could have like kids that he's trying to take care of or whatever. Maybe he needs some money up front because he needs it for rent. And I was like, he needs that money up front because he wants some drugs. And he's going to skip town. And lo and behold, he skipped fucking town to Florida. I was like, this dude lasted 1 week.
At best.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he made it to like 2 shifts, the training shift and 1 actual shift. And he got paid for 2 weeks worth of work. So he got like $1,200 and dipped. He was gone.
Sounds about
Oh
right.
my fucking God.
It's like, you can see that coming a mile away, though. It's I need 2 paychecks up front. Oh, yeah, what for? Give me a very good reason. Please. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give somebody 2 weeks' worth of paycheck up front. Work for that. That's how it's supposed to work.
Like, you haven't been here for 2 weeks, bud.
All right. Sounds like we're winding down here a little bit.
Sounds like.
Okay. Well, you're signing us out. It's your podcast, Miss B. I'm just sitting here
I
talking.
know, sir. Fucking shit, man. This is a really good episode. We had a great discussion today. Fucking, and we would be more than happy to have you back on, Alphy.
I would love to come back on.
Either podcast. You into movies?
I love movies. I'm all about them.
We
Awesome.
get together on Sundays and we discuss shit movies most times. The last one
Most
wasn't
times.
bad.
Honestly, what was it, last week with Becky?
Yes.
Becky was a really good fucking movie.
Last couple of
It's
movies
not
weren't that
always
bad.
bad movies.
You know, we discussed what
What?
we did that. We did Judgment Night, and then the week before that, we did The Fisher King.
Yeah, Fisher King was so fucking good. I was so upset with myself that I wasn't able to join you guys for that episode. But like, dude, okay, Alfie, you seriously need to see fucking Becky, because like, Kevin James plays the most fucking intimidating, convincing fucking Nazi ever.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll have to give it a watch.
And
That's
there's
like
this,
surprising.
Yeah, there's this dude that like towers a whole like 2 fucking feet over him that's like terrified of him. And they all get killed by this little 13-year-old girl, and I love it.
Right. Wasn't that's based off of a true story, isn't it?
I need to read
A young girl killed a couple of Nazis.
for killing her father.
And on her bike.
Huh. Good.
But it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime for rent, and it's really fucking good.
Definitely worth watching.
Unfortunately, I have Amazon Prime.
Me
But
too.
then again, there's no ethical consumption under like capitalism.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But anywho, this was a wonderful episode, you guys, and I look forward to more discussions with Alfie.
Maybe we can get a full
You've always
report.
got really good fucking input on all of these kind of discussions.
Yes.
I'm opinionated.
It's
That's
not a
what we
bad
love.
thing.
We're fucking here for it. But thank you guys for listening. Tune in again next time. We've got all kinds of bullshit to discuss, and sometimes not so much, because, you know, mental health is a thing.
We've had a couple of weeks where we didn't say it. We didn't get to do this.
Yeah, no, there were a couple of weeks where we didn't do this, and like a couple of episodes where we're like, you know what? I don't want to talk about shit. Let's just play some games. Everyone sucks.
That depression do be hitting.
Right?
Facts. But we'll see you guys next time. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, day, whatever the fuck time you're listening to this. Take care, be safe, drink your fucking water, unclench your jaw, bring your shoulders down, relax, do whatever it is you gotta do to get into the right mind space. I love you guys, and, you know, do the thing.
Up in the sky, so keep it real, yeah. You said I was free to leave, knew I was gonna stay. I'm a honeybee kind, always in the front view, never looking behind. Always in the present moment, never have to rewind. Always chilling while we sit back and recline like a honeybee kind. Yeah, I said honeybee kind, yeah. Cause I came back when you told me to go away, and you said I was free to leave, but you knew I was gonna stay. You had me burning for your love. Yeah.